Hey everyone, it's Mallory here with All About Cats, and if you've ever considered training your cat to use a human toilet, then this is going to be the video for you. There are some fascinating videos out there of people who have trained their cats to use a human toilet. And I've been kind of curious about this practice for years. It's something really interesting, and it, in some respects, seems like it could be a really good idea. So the benefits would be that you get to train your cat to do something really cool. You're experiencing less odor in the home, and you're also able to see everything that is going into the toilet, so it's not getting hidden with litter. And then, of course, it's just a little bit more convenient. You are going to spend less time cleaning out the litter box. But as you'll probably know if you've seen any information on this subject from behaviorists or veterinarians, Jackson Galaxy has an incredibly popular video on the subject. This is not really something that most experts would recommend. There are a number of reasons why training your cat to use a toilet could be detrimental to the cat. But when I've looked at these pieces on why you shouldn't toilet train your cat, I feel they're a little bit vague, and people don't go into enough specific detail on why this is detrimental to the cat. And in fact, they tend to focus on things like the idea that it's undignified, which I don't really think is a good enough answer. So in this video, I wanted to outline 5 clear, concrete reasons why toilet training your cat is probably not going to be the best idea. So the number one reason why I would encourage people to forget about toilet training their cat is because it takes away your cat's ability to dig and cover their waste. So this digging instinct is so deeply ingrained in cats that it makes it very, very easy for you to train your cat to use a litter box. They just automatically start digging. You'll notice cats even doing this if they're forced to go outside of a litter box. They'll just kind of dig with nothing able to cover their waste just because this is such an instinctive behavior. And on Reddit, I've seen pictures of cats who have been toilet trained jumping down into the toilet bowl and digging in the water. I'll put some links in the description so you can check that out. Very, very interesting. So cats instinctively do this, but a properly toilet trained cat is not going to be able to do that. They'll just jump on the toilet seat, they'll do their business, and then they'll jump off. And there's no digging aspect to that. Now, you could say, well, just because it's an instinctive behavior doesn't mean cats need to do it. But I tend to assume that if something is an instinctive, natural, intuitive behavior to a cat or anyone, then it's something that you should kind of respect. It's something that is essential to their sense of well-being. And so I would not encourage a cat to do anything that would take that away from them. The other thing is that if you do train your cat to give up on the whole digging part of that process, and then you decide you don't want to do the toilet training anymore and you want to switch your cat to a litter box, they might not cover their waste anymore. And so that can become a problem for odors as well. So I think this is a behavior you want to allow your cat to indulge in which you want to have your cat continue doing throughout their life. The second reason why I would avoid toilet training a cat is that it involves the cat perching on the sides of that porcelain bowl, right? And as good as cats are at balancing, it's still just a smooth, narrow ledge that introduces an element of danger to what is already one of their most vulnerable moments. So cats really want to feel safe when they're using the toilet, and they want to have a sense of stability. And if they ever slip into that toilet bowl during a toilet session, that's going to create a sense of fear that is going to affect, in all likelihood, every single toileting session after that. So the risk of falling into the toilet bowl is just too high, and it just introduces too much fear, risk, and potentially trauma to this part of your cat's daily life. And the consequences are more than just kind of a scared cat. If your cat has a traumatic experience, they could develop a litter box or a toilet aversion, and this leads to all sorts of issues. And you could end up having a pee-soaked house that's just going to be really difficult to clean up, and a huge, huge problem that is going to last for potentially the rest of your cat's life. So I would very much encourage you to create a safe, stable place for your cat to use the bathroom rather than forcing them to balance on a narrow rim. And then the third big problem with training your cat to use a human toilet is that it forces them to jump up on something every single time they want to go. So in addition to having that balance issue, your cat has to jump over head height to get onto the toilet, right? And so this creates this whole additional movement that they have to do in order to get into the litter box. For most cats, especially young cats, that's probably not that much of an issue. Your cat jumps up onto a bed or a chair every day anyway. But when you combine it with the balance challenge and then consider that older cats are often going to develop arthritis and joint problems that make it difficult for them to jump up onto things, period, you're creating a more challenging situation than you need to. Getting into the litter box should be the easiest part of your cat's day. There should be no physical difficulty involved in doing that. It's going to become especially challenging when your cat has maybe some vision issues on top of those joint problems. It just doesn't really seem like the most senior-friendly way for a cat to use the bathroom. And so I would really not advise it, especially if you're planning on doing it over the long term and potentially having a senior cat doing it as well. The fourth issue is that it does away with the scent markers that are normally in the litter box. So the perceived benefit is that you're not going to have to deal with the smell, right? You're able to flush everything away. There's no lingering odor. However, a little bit of odor, hopefully imperceptible to you, is an important part of the litter box to your cat. So the litter box is a marker of home for your cat. And so when you switch to a toilet, you're flushing that all away. You make it a lot harder for your cat to mark it. It's just not the best setup for a territorial animal that uses their waste area as a way of knowing where their home is and marking their territory, signaling that to other cats and humans and themselves. And then lastly, there's the issue of Toxoplasma gondii. So this is a little parasite that exists in many cats' stool. And while it usually doesn't cause illness in cats, it can make some other animals quite sick. There are a number of ways that this can get into the water supply and can infect other animals, and certainly using a human toilet isn't the only way that this parasite can get introduced, but you are contributing to the introduction of this parasite into the water supply. Waste treatment facilities cannot always destroy it, and so often it trickles on down and it can affect certain endangered species as well. In general, this is a reason why it's not recommended to flush your cat's waste to begin with, and then training your cat to use a toilet is also sort of inadvisable for the same reason. Again, there are always going to be feral cats out there. There are always going to be outdoor cats out there. There are always going to be cats introducing this and spreading it around. But it is worth considering that having a cat use a human toilet does increase the impact of this parasite. So that's my fifth and last reason why you might want to avoid letting your cat use the toilet, is just the impact on other species. All in all, I think toilet training your cat is a very cool project, and I love reading about cats who do it. It's very neat. But the detriments to your cat, I think, significantly outweigh the benefits. So if you're interested in getting those same benefits, I would advise two things. One, work on training your cat. There are so many things that you can do to train your cat, and it engages their mind, increases the bond between the two of you, and it is a great project. So you can look into clicker training and explore the whole world of cool tricks you can do with your cat. I'll put a link in the description to an article that'll get you started with doing some fun training with your cat. The second thing I would advise is optimizing your litter box situation. So if you're concerned about the look of a litter box in your home, you can find many aesthetically pleasing options, which brings me to the sponsor of this week's video, which is Tuft & Paw. So Tuft & Paw's Cove litter box builds in everything you need to keep the litter box clean in one sleek, streamlined package. So you get a caddy that contains the litter scoop and a little broom and dustpan. Everything is in one place, and it's really convenient and looks pretty nice as well. If you enter the coupon code AllAboutCats10 at checkout, you'll get 10% off. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description. In addition to improving the aesthetic of the litter box, there are a lot of things you can do to reduce litter box odor, including using a great cat litter, cleaning it out regularly, and maybe considering an automatic litter box if the chore is too time-consuming, too difficult, or too frustrating for you. Once you have set yourself up for success, the litter box really should not be this huge burden in your home, and I think your cat will be a lot happier in a well-optimized litter box setup compared to using a toilet. It's going to be much more sustainable. Your cat will be happier. You'll have fewer issues with inappropriate elimination, and I think in the long run, it's a much better investment. So, I hope this video gave you some insights and helped you to decide whether or not you want to toilet train your cat. I would love to hear about your experience. Have you toilet trained a cat? Have you met a cat who was toilet trained? What is your thinking on this subject? I would, again, love to hear it. Also, if you know someone who you think would find this video interesting or helpful, don't hesitate to share. So, as always, thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in more videos like this one, go ahead and subscribe. We also have an email list that you can sign up to, which will allow you to get updates on the latest videos and a lot of information on all things cats. So there will be a link to that in the description in case you want to sign up and stay in the loop. So once again, thank you so much, and I will see you next week. Bye.